This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
Shortly before the end of January 1680, Old Style, there lay near the town of Arica on the Chilean coast a galleon of 400 tons burthen named La Santísima Trinidad, captured from the Spanish. She was the same ship Henry Morgan missed when he sacked Panama 9 years past. A party of Morgan's buccaneers and filibusters under the command of the venerable John Searles had let the richest prize of the great raid escape while they distracted themselves with various pillage, debauchery, and rapine. Then the Trinidad had been filled with the wealth of king, church, and merchant, not to mention 1,500 souls, yet she carried only the uppermost sails of the main mast, and was armed with only 6 or 7 cannon and a few small arms. A prize that could only be missed by a gang of drunks, indeed. Unfortunately, the Trinidad did not hold such wealth when captured these 10 years later, and in spite of her size and importance, she now has no great guns mounted. No teeth wait behind her gun ports. Aboard are approximately 140 sea-roving men-at-arms of various nations, most of various British extraction and pretending allegiance to England, the majority of the French having parted company long since. These bold skullduggerers have sacked Portobello to little profit, crossed the Isthmus of Darien, blockaded Panama, captured a few vessels, including the Trinidad, raided other Spanish holdings in the South Sea, and fought several desperately vicious actions along the way. In general, the cruise had gone as most sea-roving ventures did, fed meagerly on greed and desperation, the senses benumbed, the spirit kept alive by draughts of hope. One of the final hopes imbibed on this voyage is the town of Arica. Arica, a desert town on a desert coast below a silver-lined and shrouded desert mountain, is the embarcadero, or trading port for Potosia, from whence that vast quantity of bullion comes that supplies almost the world. It is the point of departure by sea for the silver produced at the principal source in the world, Potosi, mined by Native Americans who are little more than slaves, and who chew coca leaves to inure themselves to back-breaking labor and the lung disease caused by mercury poisoning. Potosi is the principal source of the world's most common currency, the peso de 8 reals, or piece of 8, the Spanish dólar, that will one day lend its name to the currency of the United States of America. After Panama, arid Arica is thus one of the most tempting targets on the Pacific coast of the Spanish Main. At the moment, it is under threat of attack by the most formidable sea raiders of the Western world since the Vikings. Centuries later, raised on images of Hollywood and of Stevenson, Sabatini, and Disney, we know what we should expect as sea rovers approach their prey at sea. Aboard a ship under full sail on scene-setting placid high seas, the sudden cry of "Sail ho!" alerts crew and passengers. Excitement and fear surge from bow to stern. The arrogant but hapless Spanish captain, naturally in armor under the hot sun, pulls his spying-glass and identifies the Jolly Roger flying from the main truck of the distant galleon. "Clear for action!" he shouts anachronistically, or likewise, "Beat to quarters!" Soon 2 ships, still under full sail, pound each other broadside to broadside. The sea rover's careful gunnery dismasts its prey. Grappling irons bite into timbers, and bloodthirsty pirates swing aboard the hapless ship. After a few minutes of flailing cutlasses, interspersed with an occasional pistol shot, and the obligatory rapier play between captains, the battle is over, and the despoiling begins. This is a stirring image, and seen through the rose lenses of classic romantic adventure, it might seem plausible. There is a pirate galleon, after all, rare as it might have been in reality, and paradoxically the picaresque imagery of Hollywood often captures a sense of the reality. But the image's truth is by halves, and many of its details are incorrect when examined closely.